KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back and welcome to the weekend. It's going to be a pretty nice weekend, more typical of what we would expect this time of year. Temperatures closer to the lower 90s or upper 80s, more humidity, and eventually the chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, but mostly tomorrow dry. Sunday afternoon we'll see those pop-ups, and going into next week it looks like the summer doldrums with afternoon storms, hot and humid conditions up until about midday before the storms kick in. So let's take a look at the big picture. It's been an active day across portions of the region. When we left you last night, we were talking about all the storms erupting in the plains, and it was right around the Red River Valley. I said, if that gets caught in the northwesterly flow aloft, we'll see storms central Louisiana, eastern Louisiana, and that's certainly what we saw this afternoon. Ongoing, a ridge of high pressure is going to be poking on in, so we think that's going to mitigate storm chances for at least one day tomorrow locally. Meanwhile, heavy-duty storms up across portions of Colorado into Kansas, Oklahoma, severe thunderstorm warnings and watches going there, some pretty hefty storms. And then locally, we had some pretty hefty storms firing up this afternoon where the sea breeze met with a little bit of a frontal boundary, not much of a front, a wind shift line. You notice the storms here, and then they fired back up across portions of northeastern St. Landry Parish on through Iberville Parish, Point Coupee, and then points to the south and east where hail the size of at least nickels in some spots, wind gusts in excess of 45 to 50 miles an hour, and some wind damage on top of that, about 3 to 5 inches of rainfall around the mid-city area of New Orleans. So there was some localized flooding as well, but all is quieted down tonight. It's going to be a quiet night overnight tonight as we look at WeatherCast, and we start tomorrow morning off with mostly sunny skies. There may be a pop-up shower or two developing late tomorrow afternoon, especially over eastern Louisiana. This is the latest run that has just come in, so I have not seen this, so we're running this hot. It should be quiet again tomorrow night. And then Sunday, mostly sunny early, but a few more afternoon showers and thunder showers developing late afternoon, early evening. Then it quiets down at night. And then Monday looks like a little bit more in the way of afternoon showers and thunder showers will be going. And best way to show this is through what we call precipitable water or atmospheric moisture. Here's the European model. Notice we're in the blue. That's the drier side of things. And then as we go into Saturday and then Sunday, we start to see a little bit more in the way of yellow. So that's why we think we're going to see an uptick in our rain chances. And then we see more yellow and get close to the shades of orange as we go into next week. And then these areas in red that are showing up, and underneath these areas of red, this is deep, deep tropical moisture. You don't want to get caught in these plumes. So that's when you have those locally very heavy rainfall threats, the potential for flooding. And that's what may develop later toward the end of next week or the following weekend. Can't even rule out a small tropical system or some sort of organized system. Eastern Gulf, Florida, Bahamas, down through Cuba late next week into the following weekend. Some of that moisture goes near us, but overall we're just going to stick with a very quiet summer pattern, but still the risk of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. So tonight, temperatures dropping down low to mid 70s. Tomorrow will favor upper 80s to lower 90s. Now, mind you, today we hit 94, which tied the record set back in 1998. Tomorrow night back down into the low to mid 70s, and then we go into Sunday afternoon, upper 80s to near 90, a little bit of a heat index and the threat of those scattered afternoon showers and thunder showers. So a nice finish to the week, warm and humid, but a nice little bit of a tropical breeze. That breeze dies down later on tonight. 73 the low, 91, 92 the high tomorrow. We'll call it mostly sunny, and that pleasant afternoon breeze directly out of the south, so that should limit our daytime highs closer to the lower 90s versus the mid 90s. In fact, by the way, 6 days in a row of record temperatures this week going back to last Sunday. No records, but the afternoon showers and thunder showers bouncing between 30 and 40% for most of next week. And toward the end of next weekend or the following week, we could see drier air moving back into the region and maybe slightly cooler air. I've kind of adjusted the numbers down the road, but we're always in fantasy land in day 10. But beyond that, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a late May, early June frontal boundary, and we'll take those because that'll dry you out and cool you off a little bit. But fronts get into the Gulf in June. That means tropical season. And oh, by the way, next week is hurricane week at KATC. Hurricane reports 5, 6, and 10 o'clock every show next week.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Rob.